In this Planet Zoo video, we're going to be creating a modern tropical style habitat for one of the new animals in the new pack. And possibly one of my favourite animals now in the game, and definitely one of the cutest. We're going to be building a habitat for the little penguin. I'm actually excited to show you the process of me building this because I did do something quite abstract and out of my comfort zone. But that's right, the Planet Zoo Oceania Pack has been released, which means we have got an array of new animals. One of them new animals being the little penguin, which is so adorable and possibly now one of my favourite animals in the whole game. And we started off with good old plaster pieces and glass pieces, which you can see me putting together here now. This is going to build the main viewing area for the actual habitat itself. You can see me just getting the archer out, making sure everything's to scale. If you didn't know, this archer is the exact same height as a guest in your zoo, so you can scale things how you wish. And then it was time to just build this up a little bit and get one modular piece done. Once one piece is done, it's all done. I say this all the time in my speed build videos and in my tutorial videos. And by the way, it turns out that only 16.4% of people who watch my videos actually subscribe to me. So hit that subscribe button, especially if you want to watch Planet Zoo tutorials and speed builds like this. Now you probably noticed I've just scrapped the 2-meter long viewing barrier because I wanted to leave my mistakes in here. It was just not wide enough to create a viewing platform, a viewing area. So I went with the 4 meters, but we're going to design it exactly the same way. We're going to add a trim on the top, we're going to have a plaster piece, and we're going to have a glass piece. And this is one of the main parts about building any habitat in Planet Zoo. Any enclosure, the main part is going to be the viewing area, and then the secondary is probably going to be your backstage area and where your animals go to get a little bit of privacy. You know, the hard shelter. But I'm building up this one piece because basically once I built this one piece, it's very easy to duplicate over and turn it to different angles and create that viewing experience for your guest. So I've got a path, I've got a gap between the barrier and the actual path itself where our guest will be. This is the kind of thing you will see in a zoo just to keep pesky hands away from the actual barriers itself. And we're just going to copy them over and we're just going to turn them 15 degrees like you can see me doing now, and we're going to create a nice rounded, nice half circle viewing area for our guest. Obviously at the back we're going to have a privacy area for our penguins as well, so stay tuned for that because it is a really interesting building what I do. I've been creating quite simple but high detailed small habitats recently in my new Tropic Zoo series, and I wanted to do something a little bit different. First of all, I wanted to build a habitat for one of the new animals in the new pack, so that's what I did, a standalone habitat. And this habitat, I'm not too sure if I'm going to put it on the Steam Workshop page, mainly because it includes a lot of terrain work, and then on the other hand, when you go to download it off the Steam Workshop as a blueprint, it's very hard to place if it includes work done by the terrain tool. But if you do want to see it and you do want this on the Steam Workshop and in your own zoos, hit that like button and leave a comment down below. Let me know. If I don't get enough interest, I just won't put it on. But yeah, I really enjoyed building this, and this is the main viewing area pretty much done. Let's fast forward a little bit until I've got the actual shape. It looked a little something like this. It's kind of like art shape, isn't it? I'm going to extend it a little bit and change it a little bit around. But first thing we need to do now is get the actual water in for the penguins. So let's dig out some terrain and get that water in. A lot of people struggle with terrain work. I used to, not so much anymore. I think you kind of just got to like cover stuff up. If you see these jagged edges around the base and around the viewing area, we're just going to cover them up either with rocks or plaster pieces, like you see me doing now. And these plaster pieces are actually going to act as a ramp and kind of like a platform for the penguins to stand on. So kind of like a little bit of a fake ground, isn't it, rather than having actual terrain. We've got plaster pieces for the penguins to stand on, so they jump off into the water in, and a ramp up as well so they can get back on if need be. Getting them nice and flush level to the actual terrain at ground level. We're going to just create that ramp and get those angles in, the same kind of angles what we've actually created the walls with. So just lining them up piece by piece, bit of a pain to do, but it does come out looking pretty good. And it looked like this. You can see all the ramps and platforms are done. On the right hand side we've got some little steps. Let's zoom in. We've also got a door and a couple of windows just to brighten it up a little bit and change those plaster pieces up a little bit. On the left hand side I also added the same kind of windows. Right, let's add some foliage and start bringing this habitat alive. foliage and rockwork always does that justice. Add the foliage to the front, and there we go. How much better does it actually look now? Right, the most boring part of any build of any habitat, well, in my personal opinion anyway, the gap filling, especially when you're filling in gaps of the floor like this. But this is how I do it, if you didn't know. If you've got gaps like this, just use the same piece, angle it, make sure it's all nice and tidy and lined up to the other piece, select all those pieces, merge them together, duplicate and advance move them over, hope you're following this, and then just slide them in to the next piece again. Make sure your 15-degree angle snap is on and it will just snap to everything. And then with the path complete, we'll change the colour of the path as well, but this is what it looks like when the path is all complete and the gaps are filled. Over to the right, you can see I've just added these kind of like tiles. Is the North African tile, and they're brilliant. They give it a real effect of, well, like a swimming pool, isn't it? Like the proper tiled effect. I'm really happy with how it came out. Then we're going to start building this building. This is kind of like the foundation, just again using the same plaster pieces. Started building this wall on the right hand side using the art shapes. These are the art shapes, and then in the middle is a custom wall I created out of rocks and the aquatic, I don't even know what it is, the aquatic kind of like tree wall, isn't it? Don't know the actual name, I forgot it. It's in the aquatic pack anyway. And then just starting to build this up now. You know me, custom walls, high detail, let's do it. So I wanted a little bit abstract, a little bit modern. So we went there with the conservation wood pieces, lined them up, and then with the same art shapes what I've used, I'm going to line them up with them as well. Everything diagonal is going to go in the center, and then we're just going to copy, you can see me doing it now, just duplicating and copying that wall piece over what we created with the aquatic green wall and the rocks. And we're just going to slide this in the middle. Again, I kind of just went with the floor here, didn't really have a plan. And I just went with it and thought, right, see what I can come up with, kind of like abstract modern theme, isn't it? A lot of duplicating and moving stuff over, and mainly the main building pieces is going to be those art shapes and recolored to like a dark grey. I love recoloring stuff to dark grey because it does look modern with the contrast of the white plaster pieces and the conservation wood pieces. It just kind of all just works together really well. We're going to add some metal pieces, not actually, these are the conservation pieces, recolor them to black, and they look like metal pieces. If you are following my Nootropic Zoo series, you will know I do this a lot. I use the conservation pieces and the plaster pieces quite a lot. But if you've not got quite a piece you want, like a big thick black metal piece in this case, then just make something look like it. You know what I mean? Don't worry, just improvise. Just adding the roof now, and we're going to use the plaster pieces once again. We're going to change some of the colours as well. On the wall especially, we're going to change some of the art shape colours. And just see how it looks really. I'm just playing about with colour schemes here, seeing how it looks. And that's what I suggest you do when you pretty much build anything. Just make sure it flows and it looks alright. And if you're not happy with it, then go back to it. I always say that, don't I? And you know, you will get there in the end. Let me know, how are you feeling at the moment with the new pack? Are you enjoying it? Have you bought it? Are you not buying it? Do you think it's shit? Do you think it's good? Let me know your feedback. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I try to respond to every comment, by the way. So if you do leave a comment, I probably will respond to it. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'm enjoying it. If I'm being honest, I'm going to be honest here. I've not used many of the new pieces. I don't know if it's because I don't find them useful or I've just not had a use for them yet. I probably will use some of them. New animals though, I'm going to try to build a habitat for every new animal. I do this with every pack release, and it's something what I know you guys probably like seeing, especially if you want inspiration. So I'm going to try to do that as well. We're going to continue the Nootropic Zoo series. But yeah, let me know what you think about the new pack. I've got mixed feelings. I like it and I don't like it. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you. To be honest, at this stage, I just want aquatic animals. I just want aquariums and stuff like that, or more birds what can fly outside of a natural exhibit, if that makes sense. Something unique, something different, something groundbreaking. Change the game mechanics or something. That's what I want out of Planet Zoo at the moment. Right, just copying these, you can see I just changed the colours, so copying the same colours over, making so everything's aligned. You can see I've just moved the roof as well so I can get inside. And the habitat is complete, but first I wanted to show you the inside. It was a very small area, so I didn't record me building it, and very simply done as well. You can see our habitat gate is there surrounded by these mesh fences. We've got some hung up stuff like rakes and shovels and stuff like that and a broom. We've got some notice boards with paperwork and, you know, stuff you would find in a backstage area, including shelving and everything what your zookeepers will need to keep your animals. I do this a lot in my videos, so you might have already seen it, but for those who haven't, I like to use this. Let's click on it and I'll show you what it is. This is the surface decal moss. You can recolor this to any color you want. This has two really good purposes, well, apart from being moss, that is, and that is looking like it's water on the ground as well as mud on the ground. Change it to brown to look like mud, change it to change it to blue to look like water, is what I meant to say. It looks that good. I want to go swimming with the penguins myself. Education is in, and it looks quite neat and tidy as well. And most importantly, the penguins are very happy in here. All the enrichment items they need are in, and they have got enough water and enough ground to make sure they don't complain about everything. And to the rear, we've carried on with the same theme, and we added a little planter with some mulch and the same plants what we've got on the inside as well. With this window, it makes a very good viewing area for the guests walking past. I think it was a good decision recolouring the floor to the same colour as the roof, as it just blends more naturally and just looks better. Really enjoyed building this habitat, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. If you're new around here, feel free to subscribe if you want to watch my other Planet Zoo stuff. My name's Adam. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next Planet Zoo video.